starting.
Too slow. Well, thank you, Craig, and welcome back to the 102nd, right?
Yep.
Rendition of Cooped Up Conversations with Joey, Procop, and me, Cooper. Stopping in, joining us, a surprise guest. This was not planned, dude, but joining us again, not
On
taking
the
the
fly.
time from a woman. Dude, is this your fourth time on here, dude, or is this your third time, Pavo?
I think it's my third time. I mean, I don't know if you want to count me stealing Kelsey's show. Then it might be the fourth time.
I think we're definitely gonna. It's funny too, because like normally, if you look at our stats, like it's real front heavy on episodes, like people listening. But that time, no one listened. Like literally 0 people listened until you came on. I don't know why, but
I know why.
It was an interesting
audience.
thing. Yeah, the alt-right audience, dude. That
You
is
saying I'm alt-right?
kind of that in the fucking. It was in the fucking title for the 100th episode. Procop put like, "Are we the alt-right pipeline?" or something like that.
That's awesome.
And it got like the most views that we got on YouTube in 4 days.
Who called that?
Like,
Who called
hey,
that?
nothing crazy, obviously.
Hey, alt-right sells, dude.
Dude, that episode, once it's clipped up, you get a 12-minute thing. We put the Ben Shapiro face in the beginning, and I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll get a few fucking lonely kids who can't talk to girls yet.
I mean, conservative journalism has literally just been reduced to putting alt-right inside of your title and just shipping it and getting a shit ton of views.
Alt-right.
We're no better.
Well, the thing is here we are again with 5 white guys on a podcast. So definitely, and Joey's wearing Under Armour and a blank hat, which is basically just like an alt-right.
No,
Yeah,
an
he's double letter in Under Armour.
Why is
Aaron's wearing a NASCAR shirt again. You must have 16 of those sweatshirts, dude.
No. I just like grabbed it out of my top of my.
That is so, dude. I'm even when we were in Ireland, dude. I'm pretty sure like that's the only.
I love it.
I know you do, but I just
electric.
like.
I'm gonna wear it like 3 times in Amsterdam. Just a fair warning.
You should. I mean, it makes you look like the thing is like. We can sell the Texas bit a lot better if you have.
We're gonna sell the American bit, like,
dude.
That's the bit.
The cowboy hats, the cowboy boots. We needed. If only we had that coming with us too. I mean, the memes would have been off the chart.
We could buy a quick cowboy hat,
dude. Quick cowboy hat. But then the problem is like you can't put that in your bag. You got to wear the cowboy hat on the plane.
Should we just show up and just act like it's Halloween still and just wear costumes?
I might wear the priest costume
in November.
the whole time.
We should do that.
That would be
1 second.
That would be what we call a bit. Yeah. But so what do we want to start off? You know what I learned about today? I can't even remember what the war is called, but there's some war going on in Africa, by the way, that like 100,000 people died or something like 2 weeks. Like in Somalia or something like that. They're like fighting like World War I, like sending guys out of troops. Yeah, it's the war begins with a T.
TikTok on this.
Oh, I did see something about like some province having a new leader or something of that nature.
Crazy amount of people are dying.
Oh, it's that like weird province between like Ethiopia and like
in Somalia, I'm pretty sure.
Usually not great when the guy who's like, yeah, I run this shit now, just comes out in like bulletproof vests and camo, and like everybody around him just has like AKs and stuff. Probably not going to be a great leader for that section.
He's not going to be light-handed. You know what I mean? I don't think he's a woke leader. He's not over there with the, I think, social issues in mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently they're fighting it like World War I, though. Basically, just like running across open fields. But obviously, that's not.
It's not how you fight war.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's been outshadowed so much by the Ukraine because I mean. Can you believe the war is just terrible when it's fought somewhere that it kind of looks like Kansas? So that's when you kind of start feeling bad about it. That's why that's why we only heard about the Ukraine. But dude, I keep on seeing, by the way, about Ukraine. I don't want to go into the whole war, but people are like, "Oh, Russia's at the brink of giving." Why would they give up before winter? That's something that's blown my mind the whole time. Their whole card is the winter card. How they can fucking shut the oil off.
that whole thing's sketching me out because like
Oh, it's not getting better. Like I think like people are
if
acting
Russia
like
actually loses the war, like what is stopping them from actually nuking them? Like they've already said we're not bluffing, we'll nuke them. And if they lose, then like what
they're not gonna
what
lose.
other card did they
That's
have
the
to
thing.
play?
They're not gonna lose. There's no
I
way
think they're
gonna
they're
lose.
gonna lose. I think unless they actually were to nuke them, they're probably not gonna win.
I just don't. I can't believe they're like the idea that they're like rolling out everything they have. There's just no way they have yet. So I just genuinely think like it's not like it might turn into like Prokop said it today, and we said this literally when the thing started, and Prokop like today is like hot take. The Ukraine becomes Iraq of Europe. And we're like, that's what we said the whole
Zelensky's
time it was gonna be. Well, yeah, I think Russia's not gonna just give up. They're not.
Yeah, no, they're
not-
definitely
oh,
way
well, that
too.
was
They've definitely
silly.
dipped way too much of the foot into the
It's
proverbial
too far
ocean.
in. It's way too far
they're like
in.
waist deep. They're almost nipple deep at this point.
Yeah, that's why the nuke thing isn't like, especially the tactical ones, isn't that far fetched. It really isn't to me, because it's like, I think that would just but then it opens up a precedent of like that it's not a good precedent to set.
I don't know who set that
For sure.
precedent. I think the United States set that.
Yeah,
precedent
I
a
was
couple-
about to
a
say-
couple decades
But
ago.
one thing I will say is it's different because like the U.S. has had multiple times since then in conflicts very similar enough. Like we realistically
up in
set the
Korea.
precedent in Korea by not using them when we could have used them against China and North Korea and basically kind of ended the war, and there wouldn't be a North-South Korea issue now. But
I mean, definitely different, and this isn't me defending Russia in any standpoint, but like,
Are you a Putin apologist?
not even
He's a
little
putard.
bit. But like,
He's a
dude, he's now literally being encroached upon his actual border by NATO allied countries, and if that's why he's pissed off about it, and if the United States had a stake like that, dude, we would have flattened them like 6 months ago if we were in Russia's position.
This
Wouldn't
was
have
my
even been a
take.
question
That's my
about
thi-
it.
That's my
This was my
thing,
take from the
dude.
start.
It's not Putin apologia to be like, hey, if Cuba
To-
was like the Ukraine,
Literally.
yeah, it's Cuba. That's the whole thing.
Like, my take dismisses Ukraine a little too much, and I'll admit that. But at the end of the day, like I've said, how many months ago did I say this? Like February? It's like, is it worth risking like all out war over Ukraine? It's not.
No.
It's just not.
Is it?
What,
But
It's
some
not.
also,
sunflower
I feel
fields?
do you
bad for
even think he
Ukrainians.
wants the full Ukraine, or do you think he wants
No,
those
he just
few
wants.
provinces?
He just wants a puppet state.
Yeah. So just give it to him at this point, bro. Like,
Hot
I
take.
feel.
sorry,
I don't-
I feel
maybe
bad for
not.
the people
Maybe
of Ukraine.
not. But if it gets to the point where he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna use nukes if you don't give me like Chechnya and the other three provinces," like,
No, they don't have Chechnya.
Hasn't he said he's like a Russian, like he cares for like the Russian Empire and all that stuff, and he's trying.
See,
to
that's another
but I
problem.
don't
where, like,
believe, dude. I just don't believe that he's just gonna try to steamroll through Europe. I really
No.
don't.
No, I don't
No,
think
no,
he's
yeah,
gonna steamroll through
So
Europe.
then,
but he's
like
gonna take all the
that
Slavic
mindset of like,
states.
oh well, he wants to get the whole Russian Empire back together. Like it's not attainable. It's not gonna happen.
Our problem is, I don't know if you guys see like on TikTok that Philip DeFranco guy, and I used to love him, but now he's just like a CIA fucking agent.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
and
he's
like,
just straight
and
up,
it's like the way people talk about Putin is like this is fucking James Bond movie, and he's like some cartoon fucking villain. I'm like,
that's the thing, bro. I
it's
don't
like he's
think
not.
people get it.
He's not a
It's
fucking.
not-
This isn't a
it's-
movie.
It's
He's not-
weird, man. Because
I'm
I
not saying
can
he's
tell
a
you
good
one
person.
thing. He's cut the oil off this winter. Like,
I mean, we need to teach
No,
fucking Western Europe a little lesson.
he's gonna cut
Fucking-
the oil off. There's no way he's gonna go into the winter. He's not gonna go into the winter and not use the fucking one card he's been waiting to use the whole time. It's gonna get. It's not getting better. And plus the Saudi Arabia stuff now too, where they basically
Even Russia was like arguing with Saudi Arabia on that one though.
Yeah, they're like,
So
bro,
funny.
what are you
See,
doing?
so Russia literally
Not
like
pissed you-
was
you're
like
not
we're
pissing
like
America
we're not even gonna do
Like,
it that
you
bad, guys.
sicko. They're like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal, dude. Even Putin was. That's how you know Putin's like kind of got a little bit of like people like he's going crazy. I'm like, dude,
I don't think
he's like, dude, cut the shit, please. give these guys $3 or less gas, or it's gonna be over for all of us.
I don't know. Even hotter take. The United States definitely killed more people with drone strikes last year than Putin has probably killed Ukrainians and civilians. But
without a
we'll
doubt.
just, we'll just
that's a
not
fact.
look. We'll just not look at that, dude.
And this,
Or
we're not
the-
even in like active fucking war.
Or
right
the
now.
indirect amount of lives the United States has taken from just proxy warring in all over the place.
Well, that's for national
Yeah,
security.
but remember, they're not they're not European white people, so obviously it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
It definitely. I mean, I hate to say it, dude. Like,
were you trying to say their lives don't matter, Coop? Is that what you're about to tell me?
No. What I'm saying is I haven't seen that many Americans switching their flags to like Iraq or Afghanistan when we were bombing them, but we were really up in arms with the Ukraine thing. It was a bad look. But anyway. Yeah, maybe this winter isn't great. We should, like you said, Aaron, stop treating it like a movie. Like, dude, like there's the guy who like makes jokes about it. He's like, ooh, like he's the guy. I think the same thing, dude. There's like two of them. There's the guy who looks like right in the camera with a beard, and he kind of looks like a gerbil guy.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And then there's the other guy who's like very animated and doesn't show his face a ton. And they both definitely got bought out by the U.S. government at some point. Like their information, like the way they present it now, that's like they don't even hide it.
I mean, I think some of them are definitely like vets who are like, I am so lost in the Kool-Aid that I will not dare say a bad thing about my country. And it's like,
I don't think that's what these people are. These people are like TikTok, like news people. They're not like real.
Oh, okay.
They probably have journalism degrees, I'm sure. But
well, I see all the army vet ones being like, oh, yep,
the army vet ones are kind of
disabling
funny,
a landmine, and then sometimes they go into like the politics of it. It's like, guys, you're
yeah, dude, weren't you a corporal?
Like,
I'm sure you don't have any better understanding of geopolitics. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's probably not great. But anyway, sorry, Ukraine.
Yeah, honestly, that's all I can say. Honestly, Can we just hold on till?
Dude, by the way, House of Cards gets a really good character to play Putin, and they call him Petrov.
Can we just make it to Amsterdam, and then I honestly don't care if Western Europe freezes this winter.
Are you guys gonna go war tour?
Well, maybe they should have invested in the pipeline.
Yeah, maybe they shouldn't have relied on Russia. Maybe they should do something to help the world.
We need more pipelines.
More natural gas, please.
More pipelines, and then, right, hot take, eventually, we don't need the pipelines anymore. World's biggest water slides. It's going to be sick. You open up tickets, people are going to come far and wide. This is huge. Because everyone's like, what are we going to do with them like in 50 years? We don't fucking, I don't know, water slide.
You know that
roller coaster tycoon?
You know that like Call of Duty
it's like an alpine slide. Put a little track.
Do you know those bowls? Do you know those like bowl things where you slide? What they should do is pretend to be building nuclear power plants, but then they just turn the water slides and use coal instead.
Why don't they just make the pipelines? Why don't they just make them a line city, but for pet stray cats and dogs? But we just build like a line city like Saudi Arabia.
Can we do a 50-year bet right now?
Yeah, sure.
How many deaths building this line city? How many people die building this
how many people? They're hosting like the 2030. They're hosting like the 2034 Asian
millions
games or something like that. They're like, and the city doesn't even exist yet, dude. Well, I mean, Qatar. How many people have died in Qatar building the World Cup thing? Because it's like a lot.
Like thousands.
It's like It's like tens of thousands.
I thought it was like 100,000 people or something crazy.
That's insane.
It could have been.
That's what I thought.
That is
what I thought.
Like, no, a lot of people died building stadiums.
Well, I mean, like, dude, they're trying to get the stadium's still not ready, man. So I'm like, I would expect like
it's ready. They're ready.
I heard there's teams living in like tents and stuff.
Like, yeah, but it's nice tents, Cooper. They're nice tents.
Oh yes, of course.
They're nice tents.
If I was a world-class athlete, I would love to stay. I would love to stay in a tent in the middle of the desert when I'm trying to win my country. When there's drug cartels in my country saying if I don't come back with the World Cup championship, I will go missing. I don't want to be sleeping in a tent in the desert at that point. But the same thing. What was the Olympics that they didn't get anything finished either, except it was in the winter. it was like way worse. Was it
The Russian ones.
yeah, Sochi in
Sochi.
2014.
That was
They had like people
yeah,
living
that
in
was
tents out in the
terrible.
middle of the winter.
And like so much crime happened. Uh,
The
I mean,
Olympics.
There were
what's
so
the
many
Olympics without a
news
little bit of
events.
crime, right?
Yeah, the Olympics is never a great look.
Yeah.
It is so funny that it's well embraced every 4 years or every 2 years essentially, and it never goes well. There's always problems with it. And then every few years, dude, they're always like, "Let's put the Olympics in Boston." It's like, dude, are you guys fucking insane?
I'd never want to see an Olympics near me ever.
No. Yeah, I mean,
You don't want it near you, dude. Like it's like a long amount of time too, isn't it? Like 6 weeks.
Yeah, I don't even watch it on TV, bro. I don't want
The
it
Olympics
near me.
sucks. It is the worst fucking.
Hot take.
Well, it's not even that hot of a take, man, because it's all sports
boring.
that no
It's
one
the
gives a
worst
fuck
sports.
about the rest of the time.
Nah, bro,
Like,
the ones where they like ski down the mountain and then shoot
That's cool.
and then
Winter
ski
Olympics
again.
cool.
That's fucking. I don't know who the fuck thought to make that a sport. That's a pretty badass one, dude.
yeah, that
I
one's
like
dope.
downhill skiing, but then like the
Yeah, it's
Summer
cross-country
Olympics
skiing,
sucks.
isn't
Who
it?
gives like? There's nothing exciting about. The
I don't know.
Summer Olympics.
Seeing a man run 30 something miles an hour, you don't see that every day.
That
You
is pretty
Google it.
cool. You could, but yeah,
But I can watch that in a YouTube video.
Yeah, it's just not.
well, that's like anything, man. That's
Yeah, but it has
Yeah.
to happen first. You can watch it live.
Yeah, so why do they have to
It
take up a
sucks.
whole
It fucking
fucking city?
sucks.
Just
I
go
like
to
the
any old
luge.
stadium.
I like the
Have the
luge a
man
lot
run.
when
I
they
got
go
to go
down.
Yeah.
bobsledding once.
Get this
That's
man an
cool.
iPhone. Just have him run like this with the GPS on. We could just track it right there, dude.
They should add drunk driving to the X Games.
That's what.
That'd be awesome.
Hot take.
Isn't that
If
Nitro
it's on a
Circus?
closed course,
No, it's on an open course.
Yeah.
so
it's
like
just
right through
public.
like it's like Santa Monica, but like
Yeah,
there's normal traffic.
it's like the Monaco racetrack, but they don't shut it down. They don't know it.
Yeah, avoiding the police in a DUI that ruins your life is all part of the game.
That's what esports is becoming.
It is interesting how drunk driving has become a crime that is like memed its way into not being taken seriously
You know
anymore.
what I was gonna say?
It's not like a small problem either.
Do you know what they should
Like,
do?
people-
I think I've said this before. Is they should add an extra lane called the drunk driving lane, and basically you don't have to be drunk to drive on it, but it's a risk you're willing to take to like
Oh,
keep the flow of traffic.
There'll
moving.
be no drunk driving deaths in probably 30 to 40 years because you won't drive on the highway. You're gonna get on the highway and your car's gonna know it's on the highway and it's just gonna filter in, and then we might still have to drive like in the city because I feel like that's probably way harder for these.
know what I
car
would like to
companies
happen?
do, but
But in 40 years, I
Walkable
feel like if they
cities, that
can't
would be
figure out where
cool.
pedestrians are.
I'd like walkable cities and trains.
Aaron, I thought you
Shut
hated
the
Europe.
fuck up, Aaron. It's not gonna happen. It's
It probably
just not.
is.
Some of the cities will, dude, but to think like the U.S. on a grand scale is going to be this like carless society is just not.
No,
it's
it
kinda,
won't. It
it's not-
won't. But
Yeah,
Joey,
so-
yeah,
Joey
because we have
gave
people
me
like fucking Elon Musk building tunnels.
Well, he didn't want the trains that he never goes on to get better, so he wanted the money for himself. So
What
he
a piece
built
of
the
shit.
tunnel.
I'll be driving for forever. I'm gonna be like fucking Will Smith from iRobot, where he's just driving the car without autopilot or like his gas powered bike.
Well, that is the thing. That's why I was gonna say, Aaron. Like, there will always be cars because there's way more Pavos than there are of you. I would just say who would come after you for taking his car away. It's just not happening. You're taking away his autonomy, dude.
Yeah, dude, how am I supposed to go do fucking hood rat shit in my car if I can't drive it?
That's true. That's true. If the robot's driving, it's not going to take you into the situations you want to go into.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
You won't feel
You can-
alive, man.
But then
However-
you can cruise more blunts as the robot drives you.
That
That's
is
Yeah,
what
but
I
I
think
can't
of
close
hood
my
rat shit.
eyes and count to 20, hoping that I'm staying straight on a 2-lane road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable like closing my eyes like in sleeping in a self-driving car for a while. Like I think
Dude,
it won't.
and
be
I
until I'm,
think
like, in a-
people put way too much into those cars right now.
Oh, right
too.
now.
Oh, right now
especially.
there's no because there's too many people who are actually driving. I don't know if our resident nerd has anything to say about it. There, Joe. But this
No
Dude,
comment.
Me and
No comment.
I was coming back from Rhode Island with Stanford, and we almost got fucking killed by some guy in a Tesla. Guy was just in the left lane, and then, dude, I swear it was the car, because the way that the car moved was so unnatural that you would not fucking do that, because it went like yoink, like wicked fast into my lane halfway in, and then immediately shifted its way back into the left lane. But it was so violent that like you would have had to take the steering wheel and like done that. Like I do. It was one of the scariest fucking things ever. And that's why I don't drive next to those cars, especially on my motorcycle. I don't trust them because people just like click that button and that's it. They're like, yeah, Musk's got me, dude. The car drives itself.
No, no comment. But yeah, dude. Like I just that happens. Like all those cars, like almost all new cars have the lane assist thing, dude. And I see it all the time where like the car like drifts and it like jerks back, and the person definitely gets spooked and they like double jerk. Like it's the most annoying thing on the fucking planet, dude. Because you'll be like kind of coming and they'll like jerk out of the lane, jerk back in. It's like it's always the fucking SUVs too, and it's like this thing's gonna fucking kill me if it hits me on the side. I'm also going 80, so it's like anything happens in this car rattles already. So if I get in an accident, I think it's falling apart.
For me, it's just a bigger thing. Like human beings are relying on technology to do so many more things in day-to-day life that like we put way too much trust into it on like such a grand scheme, whether it's cars or like whatever. It's like at a certain point, it's like, dude, like
I heard this great quote from someone who was talking about like I guess like gun rights and stuff like that, but like people have been dealing with guns and drinking heavily longer than they have been dealing with heavy machinery and drinking heavily. So like, you know,
Oh, that makes sense. I get what you're getting at.
not to be like
You're basically saying ban cars and expand
no,
the Second Amendment rights.
It's like how you enforce people operating those things, or the argument came down to that, and like actually like talking about enforcing it is such a harder thing to do. But yeah,
well, realistically,
it's
too,
nuts
dude.
to think about like how new us having this autonomy kind of is, and how long we've
Also,
been drinking alcohol.
Think about how much you see drunk drivers compared to how much you probably see them get caught. Like, dude, every night I'm coming back from like a stand-up comedy thing, dude. I see at least 2 drunk drivers almost every night.
yeah, it's
like
blatant.
Like, yeah, like if I was a cop and I saw you swerving like that, it's like no doubt. Like you know what it is. Like 100%. The worst is when it's like they're going between lanes like heavily. Like it's like this guy is fucked up, like Jordan Belfort in Wolf of Wall Street fucked up, like a legitimate problem.
That's
like
what
when
I
the
like
person's
thought.
like slightly swerving, you go by him and you kind of just are like, you say a little.
I legit like growing up, you thought drunk driving was like the Jordan Belfort thing, and then you realized you're like, oh.
Most people are just like definitely not.
Which is worse, but like I mean.
Oh, 100%.
But I'm saying it's bad that it's so normalized.
Just think of the amount of nips you see on like the side of the road and shit, dude, or like beers. Like, granted, it's the same thing with pot, man. Like the amount of people who are like actively.
I don't know, man. You
blunts.
could be. It definitely. It's
different. I'm not like. I will 100. There's 100% a difference.
You're definitely worse driving high, 100%. But like, I would much rather be like
really
stone boned. Yeah, I think that people who drive high, and I've driven high plenty of times. Yeah, I'll keep that on the record. It's a terrible idea, and you definitely are worse at driving. Same thing where like you can have 2 beers and you're not breaking the law, but you're definitely worse at driving with those 2 beers than you without them.
But I'm saying if you're like drunk compared to like you're grilled, I mean, you think you're worse?
I don't know. I feel like it depends.
No, not in that sense.
That's what I was
just saying. Having any THC in you, it's the same thing as like having a beer or 2. Like you can't tell me you drive the exact same sober as you do with 2 beers. Like same thing where people are like, yeah, I could drive. Like when I get high and drive, I'm the exact same. It's like, no, you're not. Like, I'm not saying you're able to drive, but like you're definitely
the
not
same.
driving at 100%. Same thing with like, I mean, it's probably more on the same level as being like tired when you're driving, where like your reaction time is just worse, so you're not really paying attention as much. Whereas like when you're drunk, you're just physically inebriated and you're just all fucked up. You don't know what's going on.
See, I guess maybe I'm just so used to it where driving high for me,
used to do.
or maybe
Oh,
being
okay.
high all the time, is like waking up in the morning and just forcing yourself into the car.
Yeah, I think it
Driving.
depends too. Yeah, I think it
How-
depends if you're like.
Body takes over a little bit more. When high, like you're kind of overanalyzing everything, and then
I
you're kind
think when you're high, and it also depends on like how much you smoke. Like for me, if I smoke and get grilled, like I'm legitimately like fighting off like a panic attack. So like I could not get behind the wheel while the world's like melting around my eyes. So I think it depends. Like if you're just like waking and baking and you're just like your level of high is just like that constant, I think, then I could see you being able to drive. But if you don't smoke a lot and you take a fucking dab or something,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
scared.
I wouldn't
like,
do that.
That's
shit.
why I didn't. That's
Like,
why I didn't drive ever when we'd go like hang out at a friend's house, because I just like knew I could not get behind the wheel if I was high. Like my body was gonna be like shaking. Like I was like way too fucked up.
I mean, at this point, dude, I try to wait a little bit most of the time. Like,
I also just get scared when I'm high.
that's the
I just don't
thing,
wanna
man.
be on
It's
the
like
road.
it's not a frequent
I've
enough
never
thing for me to
driven
be
under the
comfortable
influence
with
of
it.
anything.
Yeah, same here. These are all hypotheticals. So
Yeah, dude, drive sober, get pulled over.
that's
Real
I
talk.
mean, that's
Definitely
the
not
fact.
worth it.
Click it or ticket. That's another thing I live by.
That's
Hypothetically, I
horseshit.
always
Click it or ticket isn't a real thing. It's a secondary offense. They can only give you a ticket if you're not clicking if you've been pulled over for something else.
is that a real thing? 'Cause
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
real.
I'm pretty sure I've
Police
heard
officer
otherwise.
cannot say, "Oh, I pulled you over because." And if they ever tell you that they pulled you over because you weren't wearing a seatbelt, they can't give you a ticket for that either. Same thing if you don't have a front license plate, which is why I don't run a front license plate.
Oh, that's cool. Because I lost my
Front license plates are a
I ordered
scam
another
by
one
the
and
state
lost
of
that one.
Massachusetts to get you to pay for 2 license plates, and it is bullshit. There's no fucking reason why you need 2 license plates.
Well, they say it's because if you're coming towards them, they still want to be able to run your plate, like in case like it's a stolen vehicle or something like that. That's what they say.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I'm sure that's what they say, but
how much the new plate? $60.
yeah,
So
but it'd be cut in half. Yeah, but Coop, those plates are costing the state like fucking 15 cents.
I'm on your
Like,
side. I agree 100%.
somebody in jail stamping those things down for $2 an hour, and it's probably like
$2 an hour. It's like 17 cents an hour, bro. They don't pay people in prison like anything.
and then the piece of steel is probably 10 cents. A little bit of paint.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I'm gonna
Menial
act like me not
profit.
having a front plate is at a protest. So
I mean,
I'm
I've
fighting the
been pulled
man.
over for it once, but it was by a cop in one of like my surrounding towns, and she was having just a day. I could tell.
Well, dude. At the end of the day, dude, if you get like, that's like something I feel like a statey, knock on wood, like wouldn't pull you
Yes,
over for it nearly as much.
they
They're
would
not pulling you
probably
over on the
pull
side of
you
the
over.
highway for that.
I don't know. Stadies they'll pull you over for anything. That's my biggest worry. Cause like a local cop, like, cause all my cars are like modified. A local small town cop, they're not gonna fucking push the envelope on that, cause they probably don't know what the laws are. But like a state trooper, they know every single vehicle infraction that they could fucking throw at you underneath the sun, and like they'll get you for everything.
If you need to know,
Yeah,
Pavo knows.
Yeah,
dude.
dude, do not fuck
Well,
with the Massachusetts State Police. Those are they do not fuck around.
They're a different breed.
They are. They are. I've never been pulled over by one, but like the day I do get pulled over is probably when I get my first ticket.
dude, you're the white whale, dude.
Dude, I mean, because you got to think, state troopers don't do nothing, right? Like I'm blown by them in the left lane at like 83, 84, and they're not moving. Like if you're getting pulled over by a state trooper, you have that something up with your car, or like you were really speeding or doing something stupid. At least in my experience.
Well, yeah, dude, because like there's been times at night, especially too, like because you know how they just like fly on the highways at night,
Yeah.
and they'll like sit behind you for a second, check your plate, and then go. Like, dude, there'll be times where I'm going like 75, 80 because I'm not paying attention, and there's no one around me, and it's like you see the lights, the car come out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, that's a fucking that's a cop. You know it's coming right behind you. It like sits there for a second and then goes. Those dude, they're not like if they wanted to pull you over for going that fast, they would. Like that's the one thing, the speeding for the most part. Like you got to be fucking.
Yeah. What's your guys?
You got to be
What's your
fucking
top
cruising.
speed? What's your top speed that you
My top speed?
that you can pull off by a statey? I think 80. I've been around.
Oh, I
them.
thought you meant just
It's
like
norm-
in
I do
general.
15.
Okay.
What I normally.
I can be by 80, 83, and be
Okay.
like if no one's around, and a statey comes by, like slow down, go into the middle lane.
Well, if no one's
let 'em
around,
pass,
I
and
go
then-
slower.
I think 80 plus you're pushing it. You can
Yeah.
definitely get like up to 80. 80, anything more than 80, I think you're seriously pushing the envelope.
Oh
Unless
no,
you're on a
yeah.
bike, do whatever you want. They're not gonna fucking come out.
Well, yeah, dude. The thing. It just like think of it coming off the tongue, like you were going 80. You were going 82 miles an hour, compared to like even if you're like you were going 79. Like it sounds different. It's not. It doesn't sound as egregious. I feel like that 8 number is where you start getting into the risk area, dude.
Yep. But
And plus, I feel like if you're going 82, man, like you're cruising. Like that isn't. You're not going slow.
No, you're not, man. 80's not even
Well, dude, when
fast.
people are going fucking 60 on the other lane, dude, and you're zipping by
That's-
them.
I
that's
guess
the
I'm talking like
problem.
midnight or like a late night.
Oh, late night?
Oh, I go
No,
slower
like you
at
still
night.
pat.
I go like
Oh.
70.
There's a statey like coming behind you. It's like 9:00 at night.
You slow down. You don't keep going
I've been
83.
83.
You get over and
slow
you
down,
slow down
move
a bit.
over, and back in. That, like he's been
Oh,
behind
yeah,
me.
I mean, if
I
you
might
can
have crossed
tell-
over 80, but he let me go.
I mean,
Or she.
you probably aren't going to get pulled over that late at night for going like 80 miles an hour, especially if there's no
Yeah.
one on the road. It like if like conditions are fine, obviously. Like they're not going to pull you over for going 80. Well, unless your car is just a piece of junk, then they might. Just because they love to profile broken down cars. I'm fucking serious, dude. Because
do.
the reason why they do that is because police will pull over people in bad cars because they know they're not going to show up to court because they don't have the fucking time or the money to do that. And people with money can go fucking hire an attorney to go waive the ticket out. So if you're driving like a brand new Benz, the cop's not going to give you a ticket because he knows that he probably something's wrong, the radar's semi-off, you got enough money to fucking get out of it, dude. He's gonna have to go to court 3 times to see your ass. He doesn't want that smoke. He's gonna pick on some dude with some $1,400 Honda Civic, which is gonna pay the ticket. And the state just makes money.
That's why I like to keep the Barstool sticker on the back of my car, even though I'm not a Barstool guy, because it immediately makes me look like either a frat douchebag, which isn't inaccurate, or it's like I potentially am an annoying guy who might have a dad as an attorney. So it's a lose-lose situation for you, pal. Don't mess
Best
with the
cars, if you
school.
want to fly under the radar from police, is something that is not older than 5 years and is silver, white, or black and is a sedan. That is definitely your best option for never being pulled over ever again. Even if you're doing like kind of weird speeds, they probably won't fuck with you.
Love my gray sedan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your car is definitely more than 10 years old, Procop. Or 5
It's
years old.
well, it's gonna hit.
Well,
10, it's gonna
you
hit
just-
10 next year, but it's still.
You wanted to just, it's not really necessarily about the age, it's more about like the cleanliness. Like if it's got like a half missing front bumper, like a bunch of dents, like a cop's gonna pick on you because they're gonna
Yeah.
think that they're gonna profile you. They're gonna think that, you're from, the city and don't have a lot of money and are probably doing nefarious things and blah blah blah, and they think they have like
They got you all
an ability to
figured out
pinch you. Exactly. So,
just from your car.
dude,
It's fucky.
Buy a nicer car, dude. It's not the cops' problem.
well, I mean, if you're gonna do
Buy a
do
Tesla.
nefarious things, yeah. And don't drive at the end of the month.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But all right, what was the something I saw that was ridiculous online, and this is like I'm not so I'll preface this with there's legitimate stuff online that helps people with like figuring out like patterns of abuse and yada yada yada. I'm not saying that. But something I saw that was just ridiculous was if your partner, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter if you don't, like want to save money or like they don't think it's cold or yada yada yada. If your partner doesn't want you to turn the heat on to the temperature you want to set it on, then you're being abused. That's abuse.
Where
Do
does
you
it say
think that's
this?
legitimate?
Do I think it's legitimate in that like
is
somebody's
all of-
actually like pushing that, or that
So
it's
say we're
like
partners, Pavo. Say we're domestic partners,
I thought
and
you'd never
I'm like,
ask.
oh, huh?
Okay, nothing.
Yeah, okay.
Continue.
Yeah. I try to slide it in there, but say it's 62 degrees in our house, and it's like mid-November, and I'm like, oh, it's a little chilly out. Can we turn the heat on? And you were like, oh, money's a little tight this month. Maybe let's not turn the heat on. We don't really need it. Am I being abused as a partner?
Nah, bro, probably not.
Yeah,
I'd
I
have
thought it
to
was
say.
ridiculous. And so many people in the comments are like, literally, it doesn't matter. If I'm cold, we should turn the heat on. It's just as equally my house. And I'm like, if it's 32 degrees out and the guy's not turning the heat on, or if you can afford it, whatever. Maybe you can turn that into some sort of trauma. But if it's just like a normal person and gas, especially now, is $5 a gallon to get oil in your house, if it's 60 degrees outside, you don't need the heat on. You're not being abused. That's so ridiculous. And the amount of comments, I almost want to find the original video. Hundreds of thousands of comments like, yeah, like my partner does the same thing. It's not acceptable. Like,
I guess on that,
you guys are fucking deranged, dude. So ridiculous trying to make yourself victims over nothing. And it's people on both sides. There were people like my wife never lets us turn the heat on because she's always hot. Like blah blah blah. Like, dude, go to couples counseling. You don't need to post shit online.
I was gonna say this sounds like something that needed to be been discussed like very
Go to a
early on
therapist.
into the
Yeah,
relationship.
So, dude, so much. There was another thing that I saw. I can't remember. It's like I can't remember if it was like a husband or a wife. They're like on Sunday mornings they go out and get themselves a bagel and coffee, but don't get me or the kids anything. And then leave the trash on the counter or something like that. And like my question would have been like, was this person doing that to you before you guys got married? Or is this now something that you're like, oh my God, he does this? If he's every Sunday for your whole time, like which the person was making it out that like the situation was, if that's what the situation's always been, what do you think getting married is going to change about that person? They're going to go get themselves a bagel and a coffee on Sunday, maybe ask him for one. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like a
Get him
lot
a
of
bagel.
people.
You're a piece of shit if you don't get your kids or husband or and kids something when you go to the fucking bagel shop on a Sunday. You're low key a piece of shit.
Yeah, man,
But
bagels
if
are
it was
love.
happening beforehand, talk to a therapist and don't put it online. Like, cause dude, it would be like basically like me talking shit about like Pro Cop on the podcast, like being like, oh, Pro Cop's so fucking annoying and stuff, and like posting it on the podcast like TikTok. And instead of me just talking to Pro Cop about it, I just take everything online.
yeah.
You guys are fucking deranged.
That we talked about like this mom who was like upset that her husband made like a full English
stuff.
breakfast for the family, and
Yeah.
and we're just
And
like,
did yard work. She's like, he would wake up and instead of sitting down and having coffee with me in the morning, he would go out and he would mow the lawn and then make me and the kids full breakfast and like help around the house. And she was like making it out like she was a victim of anything. She's like, he's being like everybody in the comments are like, he's avoiding parenting. You've been parenting all week and he gets to do that. And it's like, do what? Stuff that needs to be done, dude? Like, I don't think people get what a partnership is at all. People do other stuff. Or, yeah, and the thing is like, if it's stuff that getting done, like, why are you setting the schedule? That was the thing that bothered me the most. If the yard needs to get mowed, and whatever, like, and I'm choosing to make everybody breakfast, you're getting breakfast made for you, and you're like, why don't you just sit down and drink coffee and then do everything in the afternoon? Like, maybe he doesn't want to do everything in the afternoon. He's getting it done now. You sick fuck.
And
So selfish, dude.
Part of it is like going to bitch about it on your podcast. Like, she has a fully,
You're talking shit about fucking podcast.
Yes,
She has the production all the way down, and she just goes to bitch about, like, hey, you know what?
My husband,
We're bitching, but like, I'm not
husbands to
talking
do
about
laundry,
my wife
bro.
right now.
Like,
that
I'm
is
doing
that is
bullshit.
the
husbands
biggest
that don't do shit.
problem. That is the biggest problem with just social media in general, in that regard, with relationships or anything or whatever is going wrong in your life, is that you can go online, you can spout about whatever is bothering you, and instead of like you having to either face that person and have that real conversation or whatever that problem is that you have in life, there's just going to be all these people that will validate whatever your fucking feelings and concerns are and be like, you're right. And then you just are in this fucking thought bubble for yourself of like, I can never be wrong. I never have to do anything and change or adjust to anything that happens in my life. I can just go online and get validation and be like, yeah, you know what? I was right in this scenario. You know, I'm not the crazy one. When you're definitely the batshit crazy one and you suck.
And we have a podcast.
Our generation and the generation younger than us. Well, we have a podcast, but we talk about like broader. We're not talking about like necessarily direct. Like we're not. Like, maybe I guess we are, but it doesn't matter. It's for entertainment. It's different. But
I'm not talking about
podcast
me.
better. But anyway. But like, it's our generation and the generation younger than us, I feel like especially, have a lot more empathy to people at large, but then treat the people in our own lives like absolute dog shit. Like the actual small circle of people that matter to us, we're all incredibly selfish for the most part. But it's like we act like we have like the greater good mindset, which is like whatever, you can say that's great, but then we're all also like you just said, Pavo, doxing everybody on the amount of shit that you get on the internet about people, like literally college roommates posting something like, my college roommate's a fucking dirty bitch. And the roommate duets it is like, talk to my face, motherfucker, like screaming at each other. And it's like, you're in the same room. Fight like normal people. Why are you going online? And like you said, hundreds of thousands of people on both sides are liking it. So it's fueling this civil war of domestic dispute that could have been handled like easily.
With a simple, hey, bro, you know, I really appreciate it.
You're a dirty
kept it up a
bitch.
little bit, you know. Now we have a small country arguing over who's correct in this scenario.
Yeah, and dude, I mean, we're still getting comments on our goddamn TikTok about fucking people in England, like, going after me about the stupid joke I made a month ago. like, dude, like, the internet is nuts. So once you put that shit out there, it's out there. And it's like, you guys are having these, like, how do you ever recover as a friend after that? After, like, having this war online with two, like, how do you fall asleep at night knowing that you doxed your dirty bitch roommate, got 100,000 likes, everybody in both of your guys' lives saw it? How do you sleep at night not afraid that this girl's gonna slit your goddamn throat? It's nuts.
Probably dude, because if she slits his throat, it's more content that'll grow his TikTok page and he'll get more exposure. Then he could start a GoFundMe about him getting his slit throat for the
That's the other thing, by the way.
Bills.
Stop giving people money. Stop giving, like, the period girl, dude, on fucking...
Whoa. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Period up.
Oh, that one. That. I know what you're talking about. Yes.
She's got a record deal now. Stop giving her money. Jokes are going way too far. They need to stop. We're killing ourselves with goddamn internet jokes. People are starving in our country. People work hard at doing music. Actual talented people will never get a chance And this girl's getting $1 million record deal because she made a goddamn TikTok sound, and it's a trash probably south of the Mason-Dixon line goofball with a massive forehead, and she gets a crazy deal because she says period, and got people made a TikTok sound of it, and now she has everything she could ever dream of. Jokes go too far. The goddamn
not gonna lie though, the period would be a fire sample. You could definitely use that.
Make
Great,
a goddamn
dude.
sample of it. Don't give this girl money.
I'm just saying. Well, that's why she needs the record deal, dude. Well, she's got to get paid. What do you mean, Coop? She is the period girl, dude. She got to get her bag.
She literally now will probably made more money this
Coop,
year.
Let me flip this on you. You say something on this podcast that just takes off like wildfire, and
we've
you
been doing it for 2 years. You made $15.
She's been saying period for fucking 6 years, Cooper.
Huh?
She's been saying that for 6 years.
Yeah, respect the fucking hustle, goddammit.
She's been saying that for 6 years?
Yeah. She's been in the trenches with the period. Oh, dude. She just finally got her big break.
Jesus Christ. That's been going on for... Was she 6 years old when she started doing it?
It was in elementary school.
Oh, my God. But even still...
She's persistent. I don't see the issue.
I guess, man. I didn't know... I thought she was just a TikTok person, to be real.
No.
So I take it back a little bit. But still... On the scheme of people who get money, how did we think that was funny enough over 6 years to be like, now it's her time for fame? I don't know, man.
Most of them are just flashes in the pan, though, dude. Like, where do you think the damn Daniel kids are today? Probably doing, like, meth behind a Heavenly Donuts or something.
They're probably right for SNL, to be real. There's like a few people
that guy
that
still hasn't posted the SNL.
Dude,
remember that guy?
He's been singing at Disney World, dude, or Disneyland.
Oh, bummer.
People keep showing up and taking videos of them. Dude, I'm shocked that SNL didn't. That was maybe. We said it like back then, but that was like looking back at it. Like that's another time of like they just bullied that guy. He was making a new thing every week, like taking his time making a new song about something dumb, posting it on TikTok every week. And 1 week, he made a song about being on SNL, a show that really not that many people really want to be on, I can imagine. He really wanted to be on it. So made a song about it, and then people bullied him for a month straight, to the point where he gave up. Granted, you can't take the heat.
He couldn't take the heat.
But at some point, dude, like, I'm annoyed about how many fucking things have been commented on the goddamn TikTok, Aaron. Like, I want it to just be over.
Yeah.
But, like, that guy, imagine waking up every day and having, like, 100 people be like, 100,000 people would be like, oh, if this guy on SNL, I'll literally fucking kill myself. Like, that's, like, people weren't even making jokes anymore. They were just like,
I think,
this guy,
I swear to God, I saw an article with him, and I was reading it, and I swear to God, he commented on, like, he pointed out my, like, the joke video I made about it. Like, obviously it wasn't, but do you remember that video I made where I wasn't, like, directly mean? I just was like, yeah, this would be awesome on SNL. I was like, because SNL is funny. Like, in my, like, remember that TikTok I made, Coop?
Yeah.
And he was like, somebody made a TikTok basically saying I'd be perfect for SNL. I was like, that's exactly what I said.
Well, to be fair, dude, he sings stupid songs and isn't funny. That's like what SNL is. Like half
SNL isn't funny. Yeah, yeah.
He's perfect for SNL, dude. And also, all the people who went after him, none of those people watch SNL. Who gives a fuck who's on SNL? The poor guy who just wanted to be on SNL.
He just wanted to be the next cast member.
And he just laid out the reasons why he was a contender, dude. And he got fucked up. And it's such like it was such like a really like it was cringy, bro. But he's like a 32-year-old theater kid. Like, what do you think he was gonna put out?
The funny thing in the interview too, he's like, I thought it was really good and funny. I was like, that's your problem. You should have known.
If
You
you
gotta
think
be
it's really
self-aware.
good and funny, then you're doing something wrong because I don't know. I feel like you should always be doubting yourself a little bit.
You should always be down on yourself, and you shouldn't watch Hamilton once and have that as your like.
Ugh, Hamilton's bad.
I don't even hate Hamilton. Like I can like
I
recognize
watched it
things
once.
as
Oh
It
being.
was
yeah,
fun.
there's
I can
talent
recognize
in it.
things as being fun for what they are. I'm like, that was
I'm sure
fun.
it's great live.
But it's like, don't think that Gen Z TikTokers are gonna find Hamilton level humor funny. You see the fuzzball thing, Coop? That person,
Yeah, I don't even.
I feel bad. I
don't
don't
even
want
know
to
if I want
talk.
to
I
talk.
just want to say I feel bad for them. That's all I want to say.
I
I feel bad for them.
feel bad for them for sure, but they set themselves up to
Yeah, I mean,
be
it's not. Yeah, it
easy
sucks,
target
but like,
because I mean the humor was very clearly directed towards
but
a
yeah, I don't
younger
want to
audience.
talk about it because I think it's too deep. But I disagree with all the things people are saying about them.
Oh,
Yeah.
people are going way too far, dude. 100%. It's another example of people just take because the problem is, dude, is people are goddamn sharks. They take what the algorithms likes, and they're like they see that person on their algorithm more than once, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna make a video calling this person a fucking whatever. They get on the train, dude, and then it's like everyone's doing it, and then for 2 weeks you get torn apart. Terrible, but
The TikTok
Yeah, it's
train.
ruthless out there.
the internet's never been a nice place.
Nope.
I don't know if it ever's gonna be. So
it might
that's
be the
just one of those
meanest
things.
today as it's ever been.
Because it's under the allure of being self-righteous at this point. So it's like it's definitely like you said, it's definitely probably worse now. Because people will just fucking wipe you off the map, dude. You did something cringy on YouTube and stuff. Like if it blew up, like it's not like people just fucked you up for like they kind of moved on. Like it took. I think it was a different level than now. But worst case, you got brought on a fucking Conan or something back in the day.
You had to go on
Yeah.
Letterman and say, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
I'm sorry
made a
for the,
stupid
Tosh-
mistake.
or
Afro-American
Tosh.0.
community.
Or Tosh.0, yeah. Like one of those shows. Now it's like you get fucking death threats in real life, like within 2 weeks. So
We need Tosh.0 again.
people are saying that Jake Novak should be killed. Guy was singing about SNL. What the fuck is wrong with people? Relax. These sick fucks from Ohio or something.
Tosh.0. Tosh.0 was way ahead of its time.
Well, then they drowned it out with stuff like ridiculousness, which, by the way, between that and Dr. Phil, I had no clue that they had that much content put out because it's 24 hours a day in my goddamn house with my parents. Ridiculousness and fucking Dr. Phil. If I go inside, because it's going to be at a million volume because they both can't hear shit.
How
I'm going
about
to be able
the
to hear.
Family Feud, bro?
Oh, it's not. They don't do game shows anymore. It's just Dr. Phil listening to people who think their kid's the devil because he smokes a little pot, but also at the same time aren't paying attention to him. And then and then it's just ridiculousness, just really unfunny internet fails with bad commentary for hours on end. It's crazy. But anything the last thing I wanted to ask, what are the fucking back rooms or something like that? I've been getting those fucking videos on TikTok and I don't get it. Like there's like meme Joe Biden's chasing you around and shit. Like what are those games? What is the purpose of them?
I don't know
To
either.
get spooked by scary things.
Really? Joe, do you know what the back rooms are, working man?
Do you mean like there's like the back rooms? I only know it from like Reddit. I don't know what games you're talking about, but like
You run around all these rooms and
back
you're
rooms,
avoiding.
like holes or something. Where like it's kind of like you don't know what's back there. It's kind of empty. It's kind of like weird. If you ever go like the back room of like the Independence Mall, if you've ever been back there,
Yeah,
it's supposed to be
but
kind
it's
of
like
like
endless stuff.
still kind of like it's not supposed to be there. It's kind of like behind the simulation type deal. That's how I know. I don't know what games you mean or like Joe
Sure, they
Biden.
make like games so that like basically that environment of like
Yeah, because like,
Like,
shitty back in
blank
the day.
offices and shit like that, but they make it endless and then have
Yeah.
something.
Well, I was saying like shitty games back in the day. It kind of seemed like that. Like, do you remember Slenderman? It was
Yeah,
like blank, and it was kind of like detailless. There really wasn't anything there, so it's kind of like came off like creepy, kind of like a back room. How there's like back room at like Independence Mall was just like a blank hallway and shit like that. And it seems like it goes on forever because it's kind of like a maze. I don't know, it's just like kind of creepy, like liminal space type deal. But I don't know about like.
but they make games out of that. They make games out of that and then have a Joe Biden meme thing follow you around. And I get it on TikTok with someone playing with like moon sand at the same time, and it like sucks you in, and you're like watching it for like 30 seconds, and you're like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
I'm glad I'm not the only one, dude. It's just
So you
like
get the
content.
same one?
It's just like content overload. There's like 4 reels in one reel, and you're just like, holy shit.
You watching
It's
Subway
like
Surfer?
Rocket League, an
That's
alt-right
the
pipeline
next
podcast.
evolution of reels. It's just there's gonna be like 7 reels in that one little panel, and you're just gonna get all of them at once.
Happy, sad, scared.
Yeah, yeah. You're just gonna
Hungry.
experience every emotion at once when you watch any reel.
Okay, guys.
Anything does not think.
I have a hot take about reels.
We've
and
said hot
TikToks.
take way more in this podcast than we
Okay,
have.
okay.
Hot
But
take.
you know how people say like your life flashes before your eyes when you die?
Yeah.
They say that.
I feel I don't know, watch a sitcom. But like
What?
I
Cooper,
feel
shut the
like
fuck up, please, Cooper. Like I'm begging you. I'm on my hands and knees begging you to shut
I
up.
feel like TikToks are essentially what that flash of like what you see but really slowed down. And that's why like when you go into that content hole and you like come out of it, you're like, "Oh, what was I just doing?" You
It's
basically
literally like a
go into
TikTok
brain
feed.
dead
It's a
state.
TikTok feed. You're fucking right before you die.
Basically,
That is a hot take.
I don't
I
hate
mean,
that
Matt-
take either.
dude.
I don't know.
To be real, it's kind of that's a really good perspective on it, because that's kind of like it is like you get to be in like completely different worlds every 30 seconds.
Dude,
every
yeah,
30
and it just
to 3
sucks
minutes.
you in too, and you're
Dude.
like, oh, I've been scrolling these reels for 12 minutes.
20, yeah, dude. Especially if you're on the go in the bathroom, dude.
I like to take
It's like
take
you
my
get
time in
sucked
there
in, and then
anyway,
your like
dude.
legs are asleep. I do too, dude. It's like if I could, I would have an office set up in there, man.
Dude.
Like, I don't even need to go. It's just like it's just the vibe, and it's also kind of like a
it's
casino
one of
in that.
those sacred places,
window.
dude.
The bathrooms with no window are devastating. So you have no clue like how much time's passed. It's a casino. It just sucks you in, takes all your time.
What does a
You come
window
out-
do with time, Cooper? Are you taking shits where the sun comes
Are you
up?
fucking
hoping,
serious?
Are you hoping the
Are you
sun comes up halfway through your shit?
How
It's
long?
No.
midday. Like it's midday. What do you mean? Like you need
Well,
a
if you're
window
taking a shit, I don't know. If you don't have a window, I feel like time moves differently, dude. It becomes way because like
I
you
can
don't
see
have
it
the
if,
like
like, waking
rounding
up.
perspective of anything else.
Trust me, if you don't have a window, time definitely moves differently.
It does.
Okay.
Can make a week feel like an eternity.
You're in a back room taking a shit.
Back from taking a shit. But yeah, I like that perspective, Pro Cop. That's a good little take. But
It comes from a little bit of like too much acid where I've been like, "Oh, this reminds me
You're
of
just a-
TikTok."
why would you say that on the record?
Hey, we were talking about driving already.
Mine was all
Everyone
hypothetical.
knows my brain has been fried.
I don't think. I bet you they don't. I bet you Joey's dad didn't when he watched
I
his
don't-
podcast on his
I don't
goddamn
care
YouTube.
about that. He's not my dad. My dad already knows that.
Knows you drunk.
I didn't even hear you, Joe.
He
He
made
knows
fun of
you
him.
drunk drive.
Oh no, not the drunk. I didn't say I drunk drive. I said I drive fast near cops
And high.
Wow, drunk.
He drives fast
while
and
watching
high.
TikToks.
That's like-
what a
dude, I
multitasker.
I scroll
I-
Reddit while I drive.
I keep my. That's why I like podcasts, because I don't look at my phone at all. Like if I'm playing music, I'll look at I'll sometimes put like 15-minute increments on, but then I'll look at my phone and it's dangerous. It's just like I try not to look at my phone at all.
Because you
You
want to
get
change the
sucked in.
song.
There's nothing freakier than when you're sending a quick text and you like look up real quick and you don't realize how long you've been looking down and it freaks you out. You're like,
Dude, stop
Text.
texting and driving.
I don't text and drive. I'll never do that.
I don't. I like never do.
I think you texted me.
Especially on the highway. Like never. Like if I'm at a red light, I'll pull my phone out and send like a few quick texts and shit. But
Almost every single person I've ever almost like gotten into an accident with on the bike has been somebody who's been on their phone. Like without
100%, I'm sure.
pulling out of somewhere, pulling away from a light and trying to change lanes on the highway, dude. Phones are fucking. Wish they just didn't work inside your fucking car, because there's nothing you need to be fucking doing in there. Even like Spotify, dog. You're like trying to find a
Well, I put a
song off
podcast
of like
on, man.
one. Oh.
Especially because like
No, I'm definitely guilty of it with like looking through like Spotify and trying to find a song that's like technically the same as the radio. I'm not like
it's not.
as engrossed.
I just go on shuffle.
Because the radio, you're looking like here. You're looking
if
like
it's
here.
connected to if you
No, my
phone,
phone's my phone's on my mount. It's at the
Oh,
same height
okay,
as the
okay.
radio. I leave it there, so like I'll just have like one hand over there doing the thing.
Yeah, I don't do the mount. That's my thing. I like leave it on the.
I just
passenger
change it
seat
with
if
my
I'm in the
steering
car.
wheel. So luckily my car is new enough.
Yeah, I can change it with my steering wheel too, but
That's what I do.
Yeah, but like what happens when you gotta look up like that song?
yeah, if it's on
and then,
but if it's on
sucks.
shuffle.
I'm on shuffle. I'll just
Oh,
Yeah,
you're just gonna keep rolling the dice until
yeah. I'm just rolling the dice until it hits.
You don't know your playlist?
Shuffle on Spotify is terrible.
I'm not
I
a
feel like I
playlist guy.
never get different songs. Like it's always like similar
Yeah,
ones.
same. They
every
definitely
time.
know which ones I want, but I still like prefer shuffle on like songs over playlists.
Actually, I can speak to this. So, iTunes used to have to make it extra random. So it used to be it's like Spotify is just random. It's not like what you think. They're not actually throwing at you songs they think you'd like. So what iTunes did was they had to make it an algorithm to make it seem more random than it really was, because your brain naturally gets patterns for it. So it like thinks it's like throwing you the same shit over and over, but in reality, like if you like look down on a spreadsheet or whatever, it wouldn't be like that at all.
I just feel like that's another nerd thing. Like they say how like marketing, like oh, it's targeted just because it's like it knows your habits. It's not because we listen to you. I feel like that's another nerd thing you just try to say to me. That's not true.
It
You're not
makes
fucking
sense.
fooling me. I'm sure
I
it makes
I
sense,
believe
but so is
that.
the targeted ad thing. But it's not real. They listen to you.
You have TikTok, so the targeted ads all off
Before
the
TikTok, man. Before TikTok. Let's be real. They all do.
They do your
You're-
search shit if you search shit on like Instagram.
Cookies.
I never search shit on Instagram. Ever.
Cookies are dying. Did you know that?
No, I did
There
not.
won't be cookies soon. They're gonna get rid of them.
They don't need them. Yeah, AI overlords doing it.
Mm-hmm. No more cookies.
What does
Also,
that mean?
Fuck them
Then-
for naming them cookies, because they seem like this nice little thing. You're like, yeah, dude, I want to enable cookies.
I'll
That
accept
sounds
some
fucking
cookies.
yeah, great. All my private data and information gone, being sold.
Bought and sold.
Imagine how much do you think your data has made other companies as an
Ugh.
individual?
Oh, probably. Well, I don't. Jokes on them. I don't buy anything I get ads for almost.
Doesn't even matter. Well, I get what you mean,
You've
but
probably
like, yeah,
you've probably made a company thousands of dollars just by clicking around.
Oh, but yeah. Oh, like,
I
yeah,
think it's tens of thousands.
I don't know. Like I don't know what
especially the bigger ones that
number
like
is, like, what that,
run
like-
certain websites.
Definitely in the thousands. Because like how many people like those companies would be built like they'd have an insane amount of money, they have billions of people using their products. If each one was tens of thousands of dollars, they'd be like insanely rich.
Well, I
Well, they
mean, like
are.
over the course of your entire existence using a computer, like
I think
Probably
it's
a lot more than you think. To be
probably
real.
much. 'Cause, like I feel like we don't buy shit too often.
Well, it's not the buying; it's the selling. It's
it's just
that
the selling of your
It's your-
information.
Yeah,
That
the
is still
value is
worth it.
created just by them saying they have this data.
Yeah, like when you get called by some dickhead who's trying to sell you solar panels, they fucking bought that number.
Yeah,
Somebody paid to have that.
but that's just like one number. Then, if you're talking about clicks and stuff, I think kind of casting a wide net and like just collecting the.
Well, your data gets generalized. You get pooled with people with like very similar habits. Like it's not like your data specifically is getting bought and sold.
Not me, Coop. I'm a unique bitch. My data,
Or
like none other you've ever seen, dude.
I'm sure I couldn't figure out at least 5
It's
apps to target you with just by like talking to you in person. I couldn't imagine what your internet habits are. So
You guys are making me want to turn my VPN on.
honestly, dude, buy and sell my data because at some point people are gonna
It
be.
doesn't
so
matter. The
sick of it.
VPN company's selling your data too, even
I
if they
know.
say they're not.
Yeah, they're probably just like it might not be necessarily quote unquote yours. It might just, but
Because I bet over a certain amount, I bet after a certain time it becomes their property in some bullshit way, and then they can sell that.
there's no way they're not. Like, why would they? Why
If
would
you're
they not?
still money,
Yeah, like
but like if you're getting a free one, yeah, your data's just being sold off to the next guy.
I bet even the ones you pay money for, like Nord and all that shit, dude, those guys are probably
They're-
making way more.
Microscope though, because like they can make money without selling data by monthly subscription. So
Yeah,
it's
but
like
then they're leaving all that money on the table by not selling the data.
They
Um,
probably sell it in like way more of a like generalized group. You know what I mean? Maybe that's how they get away with it. It's not as like personalized, so it's like harder to be like your.
anybody else, like if you use Google or anything, they're getting that same data.
Yeah,
Protect your data. Lock all your accounts.
How about you
as
just give me a
strict as
little stipend of
possible.
money? How about UBI comes from the data we sell?
If
How about that?
if your Facebook accounts are public, or your Instagram accounts are public, or anything is public, go private those. As tight as
Not
they can be.
Not cooped up conversation. Sorry, we need you
Well,
to
I
follow
mean,
us.
yeah, maybe not that, but your own personal one.
Yeah, my personal one's private.
Maybe I'm just a nerd because I work in cybersecurity, but
Yeah, you're
a
just
lot
trying
of,
to sell us on stuff.
I mean, I only work on email, so that's all I know.
Dude, the amount of like spam I get on a daily basis is ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's only
Ridiculous.
gonna get worse for forever.
No more spam, please.
Impossible.
The worst is fucking ZipRecruiter. And indeed, I swear to God, I fucking took my things off. And like all of a sudden, the fake name Ella Dawson. I know you're not real, Ella Dawson. You're not real from ZipRecruiter.
You can actually pay to have yourself taken off of all those lists. There's third-party companies that will take your information and scrub it, and then unsubscribe you from all that shit, so you don't get that shit anymore.
I might just make a new Gmail at this point.
You could do that, but like
connected to it. But
my email address is like fucking gotta be 10, 12 years old at this point, so I don't want to lose that. I have a bunch of bullshit in it.
yeah, like I have to keep it. But like I have like 3 emails now. And I sign up for different stuff on it. I'm trying to.
Oh
weed
yeah,
off.
you gotta have the Boogaloo email, or you're just fucking signing up for all that bullshit that needs an email.
Yeah, I have like 5 of them.
Mine's just for like important stuff.
I have a lot of different names.
Doctors and
Just
jobs.
like Ken
If you
Joe.
look it up,
One,
if you
two,
Google it, there's one called 10-minute email where you can like get an email for 10 minutes. So if you want to sign up for things, you get an
That's
email
cool.
for 10 minutes and then it
Yeah, I really
dies.
need emails for 10 minutes all the time. So I'm a big.
Well, if you want
buying
Disney
porn-
Plus
porn.
because something came out and you don't
Why
want
would I
it
want Disney Plus?
for free, you get
Trial.
you do the trial, you trial
But
everything.
What's on
sucks.
Disney Plus that I need to say?
But anything on Disney Plus.
Huh?
I don't know anything on like Disney Plus.
Yeah, like why would I ever need Disney Plus?
I don't know.
Because you want it, and there's a show you
What
want
are
to
you
watch.
watching on Disney Plus?
Spider-Man
Brokaw?
movies?
I'm
I don't
asking
know.
you.
I'm not watching
clearly
anything. I don't have Disney Plus.
Marvel
You,
movies?
Aaron?
Oh,
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
guy
I'm a
who
Star Wars
said
nerd.
Disney Plus.
I'm a
hey,
Star
Star
Wars
Wars.
nerd.
Oh, I forgot they released that on there.
It's
Too
not a
many
good,
streaming services. It's just
not a good
cable
streaming
again.
service. Oh, you know what? Here, streaming service news. You know what's crazy?
What?
I think either HBO bought out Discovery or they merged, so they're now like two competing services, but they're within the same company. So like the board of Discovery told the board of HBO, you need to take these things off because then people won't go to our service and then we'll both lose. When it was like, I thought we were supposed to get a fucking ultimate library of all content when we started streaming, but no.
They took off Mythbusters. I know that firsthand.
Yeah, me too, Joey. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
I know that too. How many fucking emails did I get? I got like 3 months of those emails. Dude, I thought the FBI was gonna be knocking on our door after like number fucking.
Dude, I was pissed they took it off.
You're like, I'm gonna make a
I was like, I
stand.
was gonna watch Mythbusters now.
I had a dream. I was like, Joey would out rat me out in a second. He would literally be like, it
It's a
was
huge
him.
Mythbusters guy.
It's like it was him, and then I couldn't argue it because it's like it's on my fucking. Like I would go down.
It'd make you pay like the $30 it probably is worth or something like that.
Sorry, fucking whatever your name is.
Adam Savage.
Yeah, sorry, Adam Savage. HBO made me do this.
So
Oh, I
boys,
just got
we're
sucked
at
into
an
a
hour
reels
10.
hole.
All right, we're done. Good episode, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We'll be in
We'll be in Austin, Texas for our first live show.
Yep.
End of the month.
Catch us on Parlor.
Buy tickets.
Catch us
Number
on
one podcast on Parlor.
This time
Um,
by the time this podcast comes out, we'll be getting ready to go to Amsterdam, dude. So Amsterdam, we'll have some content. There will be some. We said the same thing about Ireland.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this right now. We can't do street
We did
interviews.
not.
It's over. Street interviews are over. It's over. Like that market.
No, I don't want to do a
ruined.
street interview.
They're dead.
I just want to
definitely don't wanna do a
harass
street interview.
locals.
I wanna
I want to turn on
they
all
say
the
all food shit, so I want to go over there and eat food and see if it's actually fucking good, and then put it on the internet and prove that it's not. You guys suck. Go fuck you, Europe. Content will be coming. Pavo, thanks for joining us. Surprise guest.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Did absolutely. Okay,